I am going to paint the wall back here, and I'm going to paint my window frame around the color of the sage green, but this is going to be white. So I've got to get a bunch of stuff taken care of on here before I can do that. And that's what I'm in the process of doing right now, is getting all of this hardware off of here. I wish I could get this block off of here, but it's glued. I was going to wallpaper, but I don't know if well, maybe I can. We'll see. I might just be able to put a piece of wallpaper over the top of this. So I'd rather wallpaper than paint. So glad to get this off the wall. Oh, I can't wallpaper because of all of the putty that's on here. I'd have to paint over it. Yeah. Well, I'm going to finish getting the hardware off of here. I'm taking these things off, and then I've wiped everything down, and I'll be back when I've got that done. I have gotten everything cleaned up. I got putty and filled in the holes. I'm waiting for the putty to dry. This is silicone up here. That's a hot mess, but it is what it is. So I've stirred my paint. I'm using the same paint I've used throughout my entire house. It's the washable, ready to use, mixed color, and it is antique white satin. So I'm going to be painting the outside of the wall, and then, the outside of the frame. And then the frame is going to be the sage green. I wish I had a smaller brush for this, but I want to save this one for the trim, but it is what it is. We'll just be as careful as we can be with the paint. The nice thing about it is my ceiling is already painted that color. Of course, this will take probably 3 coats. This wall is such a hot mess. They've had to have had some kind of leaks over the years that it sat under the trees. Oh, wonderful. It just fell in my paint can. Oh, good gravy. I gotta get a paper towel to wipe it off because I got to keep using it. It's the only brush I've got. I swear. Yep. This is my life, folks. This is the way it goes all the time, without end, never end. Brush is clean. We're back at it. Okay, before I rudely interrupted myself with dropping the paintbrush into the paint, these walls are in such bad shape. Oh my gosh, they're squishy in certain parts of my living room, and they are cracked, split. I've thought about it would be nice to be able to basically gut this trailer down to the studs and start over, like put some really good insulation in the walls and, brand new paneling. I wouldn't even know how to begin doing something like that. That would be such a endeavor to try to get done. And I have no idea what it would cost, but I'm sure it would be a pretty penny. You know what I mean, girl? I might have to lose the light here for a minute because I've got to unplug this in order to paint around it. You'll see probably. I decided to get going on this because I was sick and tired of sitting. I like my chaise, but after a while, it becomes uncomfortable if I sit there for too long. The wallpaper didn't quite go to the edge over here, so I'm going to paint that part of the wall white just to kind of blend it in. Again, working with crooked walls, that's what you get. You have to get a smaller brush in there. I do have brushes that I use for crafting, but I try to save them for crafting. But I haven't been crafting much anymore lately. Just nothing has sparked my interest. I need to get out of the way. You are in my way. I don't care if I get up on here because it's going to be green anyway. The reason I'm doing this is I got rid of the curtain rod that was back here, and I bought a suspension rod. I talked about that in another video that I wanted to get a suspension rod, and I did, and I'm very, very glad that I did because it looks super cute. I know the silicone is not going to absorb the paint very well, which is unfortunate, but because there's a lot of it on this side of the wall over here. But at least it's not like a prominent wall out there in the world. RVs are put together like a really horribly made construction, even back in the 80s. But you know what? It's my home. I own it. It's a roof over my head, and I am beyond blessed. I thank God for this place constantly, and that I've been able to do these kinds of things to make it more livable. more enjoyable to live in. And that's what, it's taking, what's the old fashioned saying? Taking something and turning it into, can't remember. Now I've got wall down here. That's going to be, I'm going to have to use a delicate brush down there to paint underneath this right here. But I've got coat number 1 on. We'll let that completely dry. And then I'll do coat number 2, coat number 3, and then I'll be able to do the frame. It already looks better. I've got my 3 coats up there, and the next step will be to paint the trim once the paint around the trim or the frame is completely dry. And then I'll come in with the sage green, hang the curtains back up, put everything back in place. And once the paint is dry, I'm going to have to spray some insect killer back here because I saw an ant come out and work his way all the way down. So I've got ants back here, which is not fun. Not fun, not fun. Not sure where the nest is. I've tried to find the entry point, but it's almost impossible. So anyway, it looks real good. I think it's going to really add a little something to this area. As you can see, I've already put 1 coat of the green on, the sage green color. The actual name of it is, where is it? Oh, she mixed it for me. I think it's called, I don't remember what it's called, but it's a sagey green. It's really pretty. And then after I do the second coat, I need to come back in with a brush and just touch this over here because I messed up with my paint, but that's all right. It is what it is. Outside, it's dark and it's only 5 o'clock. Maybe we're going to get a storm. Nice. This is really good paint. It's primer and paint in one, and it covers really well. I will only need to do 2 coats. I almost dipped my brush in the phone. Okay. That's called being distracted. So what I'm going to do, instead of keeping you on camera here, I'm just going to go ahead and get the rest of this painted, and then I'll come back and show you how we're going to finish off this area. So it's all done, and now I'm going to hang the curtains up. It just looks so cute. I'm going to put everything back. So there it is, all put back together. What I mean by it's not a wall that would be out there in the world, but it looks cute to me in the kitchen here. Leave a thumbs up and let me know what you think in the comments. And the painting, I had a major issue happen in my home. If you want to know the circumstances behind it, I will link the video below. It's on my Godly channel, but I had a demonic attack in my house, and this shelf was one of the things that they attacked. It came down. Everything crashed off of it. It broke apart, and I have to make a new shelf for it because this shelf right here was not the best anyway. And so in a way, the demon did me a favor without even knowing it. But if you want to hear the circumstances behind why I know it's a demon, I will link that video below. Also, my front door was wide open when I got up that morning, and I know I shut and locked it the night before. So back over here. I picked up foam core at Dollar Tree, and I picked up contact paper that matches what I've already got at Walmart. And so I am just now getting these shelves cut to the size that I want. And so that's what I'm doing. So right now I am making sure that we are even Steven here. I'm using the other shelf as a protection for when I cut. I'm cutting the shelf width 7.5, and I think it's going to be 5 feet is going to be the length of it. I have a nice sharp blade in here. Everything works perfectly until I start recording, and then things happen. Quite get 3 out of 1 board. If I went narrower, I could have, but I like the wider shelf. Okay, I've got 4 cut. Now I want to establish the length. So I'm using the other shelf. Putting this on here, coming underneath and drawing a line. making sure that my line is straight before I cut it. So the way that I lay it out is I'm going to have a depth of 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step outside and I'm going to spray adhesive and glue these 2 together. And then I will be joining the 2 together with popsicle sticks like so. And I will do the same for these end pieces right here. I decided to go 3 deep. Okay, I'm going to be using this super glue wood glue. It's a very cheap alternative to buying a wooden shelf, and it works really well. I'm very pleased with the ones I have up in the other parts of the house. I get these at Dollar Tree. I use them for paint stirrers and for stuff like this. You can also do DIYs that are decorative with them. So I'm going to let that set up, and then I'll do the end shelf. Okay, so while that's setting up, I'm going to tell you how I make this work in the back. I'm going to take a ruler. I'm going to take it back to here with a level on it. I'm going to draw a line, and I'm going to do that all the way down. So wherever I drew the line, this will go and get glued down, and this will be my support. So I'll put several of these along the back wall, and that'll be my support. That's what I did with this shelf over here that I had to replace, because the first shelf I put up was very warped because I didn't do it properly. So I decided to remove it, and I made a new one. This is only too thick because it's not that wide or long. So this is too thick. But yeah, that's what I did in the back. So this shelf is perfectly straight. It looks like it's supposed to. And there we are. Eventually I'm going to have to redo this shelf because it does have the warped business going on in the back. But I'll do that at a later time. I didn't put weight on top of these sticks, and we've got warping here. So this is the next step. I do this on the floor, obvious reasons. It's the only place I have enough room. So I lay this down with contact paper, and I'm going to cut right here with my new Dollar Tree scissors that I just bought. Ooh, they work well. Perfect. Okay. So then, ouch. Being my age is a pain in the neck. But it's better than the alternative, which is dead. No lie. All right. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take this backing off of the whole sheet, and then I will lay this on here and adhere it. Cool. All right. I need weights too. Oh, I don't think it's going to curl up that much. All right. I need better glasses than what I'm wearing. Eyeball. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll this over and put it down. Like so. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. Pulling it nice and tight. All right. I'm going to take and make a slice right here. Come in at an angle, but not much of one, just a little bit of one. Over here. I have such a good dog. He just stays out of the way. Make a little slice. I'm going to pull this up and pull it tight. Okay. I don't remember cutting that, but okay. There we are. Pull it up from the middle. Bring it over. Got some bubbles. I'll just take needle to that and get rid of those bubbles. Okay, got my ruler and my level. Got a magnet on it. If that isn't the coolest thing. I didn't know that. So we're level, and I'm going to draw day level. So what's going to happen is my Jenga blocks are going to go right under that line, and it should give me a level surface for support in the back. It's called improv because I can't see without light. God said, "Let there be light." Praise the Lord for the light. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to hot glue, and then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to put my little block right there under the line, and it'll line up with the shelf so that when I put the shelf on, I can glue it down to this and to here along the way. And so that's what we're going to do. Got all the bubbles out of it, good on top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and I'm going to glue back here first, just by lifting that up like that. And then I will lay glue down here, and I'll have to work fast to lay the whole shelf down at once. So that's the plan right there. So now for that part. going to come along here. Laying down glue as fast as I can. And secure that. I'm just going to put weight on it. Okay, I left a bunch of weight on the shelf for a few hours, and now it's stable. It's not moving. It's adhered and it's straight. No wonky weird stuff going on in the back like there was before. The front looks a little rough because actually this probably should have gone to the back, but the paper underneath was smoother, and so I wanted to have a smooth look underneath, but this is fine. It's no big deal. I won't even notice it. So I got my shelf back up. I got my soffit back up, and that demon can go square to hell and stay there. Like I said, I will link the video below as to what happened because, yeah, it was crazy. It was totally crazy. But I'm a believer, and I have a channel where I talk about the gospel, and I share a lot of things that are actual truths and not lies. And I'm bringing people to Christ, praise the Lord. And Satan hates that, and that's just too doggone bad. I hope you enjoyed these two projects that I did, the window area and this area. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Oh, I don't know if I told you how I did this soffit back up in here. I had to drill a hole going down into the brace, is that what it's called? And mollies into the wall, and then just made sure everything was reinforced. I also added wood glue back to the brace back here. So yeah, it's not coming down again. I can guarantee it, unless a demon comes in here and rips it off the wall again like he did before. This is still intact over here. So I don't think I filmed that because my friend was helping me with it next door. That's what I did to get that back up on the wall.